Unit 3, Grammar. We have past simple and past progressive. We will also talk a little about stative verbs, so if you forgot what stative verbs are, please watch this video, Unit 1 Grammar. Now look, this girl is watching TV, and then later a man opened the door. This is the timeline. We will put things that happened in the past right here. Things that are happening right now, we will put them here. Things that will happen in the future, we will put them here. The girl started watching in the past and then she continued. Later, the man opened the door, also in the past. But watching TV takes a long time. Opening the door doesn't. Short action and long action. We give past simple to the short action. Opened the door, past simple. Was watching TV, past progressive, long action. So sentences in the past progressive need the verb be. Was or were. We use was with I, he, she, or it. We use were with you, we, and they. And as you can see, we must add ing to the verb. She was watching TV when he opened the door. Can we start with open the door? Yes. The meaning will be the same. When he opened the door, oh, we have a comma here. If you start with the time clause, this is what we call the time clause. When he opened the door. If you start with it, you need to put a comma before you continue. She was watching TV. The meaning of these two sentences are the same. Now look. A man reading a newspaper. A lady is reading a book. When did this happen? In the past. Reading takes a long time, long action, right? What about reading a book? It was happening at the same time. Both long actions started in the past and they continued together, unlike here. We will give past progressive to both actions. She was reading a book while he was reading a newspaper. Can we start with while? Yes, again, we will need a comma. While he was reading a paper, comma, she was reading a book. Reading a paper is the same as reading a newspaper, okay? Now, for the last example, the man opened the door and then the girl turned off the TV to welcome her husband home. This time he opened the door first and then she turned off the TV. How long does it take you to turn off the TV? It's a short action. Short action. What will we do? Give past simple to both actions. As soon as he opened the door, she turned off the TV. As soon as means once this finished, this started. He opened the door. Immediately after he opened, she turned off the TV. We can also say she turned off the TV as soon as he opened the door. And we will not put the comma, okay? We put comma here because we started with the time clause. Time clauses we use with past simple are when and as soon as. Look, when we use it before past simple. Can we use it here? She was reading a book when he was reading a paper. No. Use when and as soon as only with past simple. And only use as soon as if you have two short actions. Okay? If you use as soon as, both actions must be in the past simple. This is important, okay? Now, with past progressive, we use while or as. They give the same meaning. Can we put as here? Yes, she was reading a book as he was reading a paper. That is also correct. We also use past progressive when we talk about a specific time. What do we mean by a specific time? Like when I ask you, what were you doing at 10 o'clock? Not what did you do? No. Past progressive. What were you doing at 10 o'clock? Specific time. Don't say, what did you do at 10? No. So, the past simple is used to describe a completed action in the past. The time is usually mentioned, like yesterday. I bought a mobile phone yesterday. Completed action. Finished. To describe completed actions, two actions that happened one after the other in the past. Just like when you say, when he opened the door, this is one action. It happened first and then it ended, and then she turned off the TV. To describe past habits or repeated actions in the past, often with adverbs of frequency. Adverbs of frequency like always, usually, sometimes, seldom, rarely, or you can use the verb used to. You can say, when I was young or younger, I always played football, or you can say used to play. The verb here is in the base form if you use used to. Both give the same exact meaning. Or to describe permanent situations, permanent means not for a short period of time, not temporary. Like when you say, Jake lived with his parents when he was young. To describe an action in the past that interrupted a longer action in progress, just like here. When he opened the door, this action interrupted this one. She was watching TV when he did that. Notice that we use would plus the verb in the base form to express past habits or describe someone's typical behavior in the past. Typical behavior is what someone would do in a situation. Expresses past habits, just like here, past habits. You can use always, used to, or you can use would plus a verb in the base form, like every evening he would do his homework. This is what he used to do. Watch TV and then go to bed. Now, to the past progressive. It is used to describe an action in progress, still happening at a certain time in the past. What were you doing at 9 o'clock last night? A certain time, a specific time. To describe actions that were happening at the same time in the past, just like here. He was reading the newspaper, she was reading a book. To describe background scenes to a story. The snow was falling when he visited. This is a background scene. Or, it was a cold day and the snow was falling. To describe temporary past states or actions, like my grandfather was writing a book in those days only. If the situation is permanent, you use past simple. To describe repetitive or annoying actions with the adverbs of frequency, like always or like he was always taking my toys. This is in the past. If it's right now, you use present progressive. You are always leaving your books in my room. In the past, you were always leaving your books in my room. To describe an action in progress in the past, that was interrupted by another action, just like the first one. She was watching TV, and this interrupted her when he opened the door. Now, practice. Complete the text with the past simple or the past progressive of the verbs in brackets. Now, here is an idea. I want you to stop this video, try to fill in these blanks, test yourself, see if you can actually fill them, and then continue this video only to check your answers. Yesterday morning, there was, be is a stative verb, so it's an easy one. You don't have to think about it. Just use was. An attempted robbery. Attempted, somebody was trying to rob a computer shop. Two men who wear gorilla masks. This is a gorilla mask. Run into the shop, pull out their guns, and ask for all the money in the till. Till is the cash register. Now, from here till here, this is one sentence. How many actions do we have? We have wear, run, pull, and ask. 4 verbs, 4 actions. Okay, think about it. The first thing that happened, they wore the gorilla masks, and while they were wearing the masks, they did all these things, right? So definitely we give wear past progressive, and then they ran. This action interrupted this. It happened after, and it finished while this was still happening. And then after they ran, they pulled the guns. And after they pulled the guns, they asked for the money. Okay, easy. At first, the staff, people who worked at the computer shop, think is a stative verb, so it's easy. Just use thought. Go to page 95 and find the passive think, thought. The robbers play a joke on them, and one of the shop assistants even offer the robbers a banana. This happened first. They thought it was a joke that was still happening when they offered the banana. So we give this past progressive and we give this past simple. However, the robbers get angry and fire their guns into the air. Okay, end of the sentence. First, they got angry, and then, after that, they fired the gun. And angry is a state, remember? It's an emotion. It became apparent, clear, that this was no joke. So the shop assistants gave the robbers all the money in the till. First, it became apparent. Then, they gave the robbers all the money. However, when the robbers fired, we have when. With when, we use past simple, into the air. The alarm. Alarm is equipment that makes loud noise to warn people. Go off and the police arrive. 2 actions didn't interrupt each other. The alarm went off first. Went off means started making noise, okay? It started making noise, and then after that, the police arrived at the scene, at the place where the crime was happening, in no time, very quickly. As the robbers, as past progressive, were leaving the shop, they noticed, this is a stative verb, that the shop was surrounded by police cars. They have is a stative verb. They had no choice but to turn themselves in. Surrender means go to the police and not resist. Thank you for watching this video. If you like it, please share it with friends. I'll see you again next time, inshallah. Goodbye.